Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem. Wakakodash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone at rule well. Shalom to all the Akim that are teaching this word around the four corners of the globe in faith and truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Caleb from the GMS England London Forecasters branch, back with another lesson to help edify the Lord's elect. As always, I like to begin by saying that, we are the real Hebrew Israelites, and the real Israelites, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, and West Africans predominantly. However, you will find Israelites that do look like the other nations, because we as a people have been scattered amongst all nations throughout our various captivities. But if your seed line by your forefathers goes back to the man in the Bible that was named Israel, then you too are an Israelite, no matter what you may look like, because the book of Numbers, the first chapter and the 18th verse states that your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers. So I'm just going to make a quick lesson here based on something I saw as I was just walking home not too long ago. I walked past this billboard advert, and I saw this image from McDonald's advertising their Big Tasty with Bacon, available until the 14th of February. Now, obviously, anybody who's been in the truth for any length of time knows that you shouldn't be eating McDonald's. That's probably one of the worst things you could be putting into your body. So that should come as no surprise. But the fact of the matter is that they're lacing everything with bacon these days. Everything has bacon in it. And it's the same with Burger King as well. All these, big fast food chain places be lacing shit with bacon. But you shouldn't even be eating it in the first place. But the fact that it's got the bacon in it should make you even more repulsed by it. But the interesting thing I wanted to point out here is that as I was walking past this image, I saw a face in it. Now, this is kind of something that kind of takes me back when I was a small child. When my mother would serve me food, sometimes I'd look at the arrangement of it in the plate, and sometimes I'd see faces in it, just in the way that the food was arranged in the plate, and I wouldn't want to eat. So as a small child, my mum had a hard time getting me to eat. But it's funny because now I'm a grown-ass adult, and I was walking down the road and I saw this, and the first thing I saw was a face in this burger that's being advertised. So let me point it out to you. It's a demonic face. It looks ridiculous, but let me point it out to you. So here you have this so-called Big Tasty with bacon, right? So if you imagine the whole shape of the bun being the shape of someone's head, right? You got these two white onions here sticking out, and it's almost like the eyes are popping out of the head. Then in the middle, you got that dollop of, mayonnaise or salad cream, whatever they call it. That represents the nose. And the piece of bacon hanging out here is the tongue. So let me zoom out a bit. You see it? The two white onions there being the eyes popping out of the head. And you got that big circular glob of mayonnaise or whatever as the nose. And you got the bacon, which represents the tongue. So you can actually see a face in this shit, man. And it's funny because there's spirits attached to everything. There's spirits attached to everything. So on a carnal level, on a surface level, you may walk past these adverts and just think, it's just a burger with bacon in it, whatever, and walk past. But there's actually spirits attached to this which will resonate with whosoever is inclined to be seduced by this temptation. Because, greed is a real thing, and lust is a real thing. And if you, lust, there's a scripture which says lust conceives sin, if I can remember it correctly. But every while I find a precept. Just look for it here. Yes, this is James. That's the one, exactly what I want. Just exactly what I want. Right, so James chapter 1, starting at about verse 12. This goes into lust, so let's get that. James 1 and 12. James, the first chapter, starting at verse 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive a crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. So that's quite clear. You know, Yahushua will present the elect, those that overcome this life and all the temptations thereof. They're going to receive a crown of life, an everlasting crown, an incorruptible crown that no man will ever be able to take away. That's going to be presented to the elect by Yahushua. So let's read this again. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High God, for the Most High God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then, when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. Now, this is beautiful, and that's right on the perfect precept for what I'm talking about here, because when people see these adverts in the street, they can't immediately, like you see the billboard advert, you can't literally reach into this poster and pick up the burger and eat it. No, it plants that seed of lust in your mind to where you see this image, and you might not even consciously recognize it, because a lot of these adverts work on a subliminal level. So, for example, you might be sitting on the bus and you just drive past it. Just a few seconds you go past it. You don't even visually register that you've seen the advert. Then all of a sudden you're thinking, oh shit, I'm kind of hungry. I want McDonald's all of a sudden. Well, it's because your subconscious mind saw the image and it resonated with something that was in your spirit, i.e. the lust to have that type of thing. And therefore it works on your mind, and when it manifests, it brings forth sin. So let me read that again. James 1 from verse 12 again. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord, meaning Yahushua, hath promised to them that love him. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. You see, because it's someone's own lust. Like if you're lusting after, oh yeah, I really want a burger with pork in it. Yeah, I really want a burger with bacon in it. Guess what? If you entertain them thoughts and you don't rebuke them thoughts with scriptures, for example, saying, you know, we're not supposed to eat swine's flesh. Swine's flesh is unclean. If you don't rebuke them thoughts, they're only going to continue to manifest and work upon your mind and your spirit until eventually you end up in McDonald's slapping down a £5 note on the counter and then bringing you out some fucking greasy ass big tasty with bacon, and then you're scoffing it down and thinking, yeah, it's nice. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous when you see the pattern of it, but most people don't even understand the pattern of it. Because what do the scriptures say? He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. And if you was to really examine the lifestyles of many people in the world, they have no rule over their own spirits. They're just, living according to the flesh and doing the lusts thereof. Every day they wake up, they're just living according to the flesh, and doing the lusts thereof. So let me bring this out again. Verse 14, James 1:14. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. So this little demon here in this burger, you can see the face of the demon, the eyes bugging out, the nose and the tongue hanging out. That's appealing to the lusts of the spirits that are on these people. These people that aren't in the truth, that are just living according to the customs of this world. They've got all kinds of foul demons on them, man. They've got legions of demons on them. So it's like we can't physically see it. We can't physically see the amount of demons that inhabit these vessels, because these bodies are vessels, But if you could, you might be seeing creatures coming out, bugging out eyes like this, tongues hanging out and appealing to the senses. And it's quite funny because I do remember when the lockdown was lifted, when we had the lockdowns not too long ago. I remember people posting videos of the queues for the drive-ins to McDonald's, and the tailbacks that those queues were hella long, man. And the reason why those queues were hella long is because these people who eat these junk fast food, McDonald's, Burger King, so on and so forth, they're basically being laced with chemicals because they're not really eating real food. It's all pretty much synthetic, and they people get addicted to it as if they were addicted to drugs. Hence why when the lockdowns were lifted, everybody wanted to jump in their car, put their foot on the floor, and hot wheel it down to McDonald's to get their fast food fix, because their bodies had grown accustomed to eating these junk foods and all the chemicals and drugs which they're laced with. So they were having withdrawal symptoms during the lockdowns when all these fast food restaurants were closed. People had these really bad withdrawal symptoms, forgive me. So when the lockdowns were lifted, everybody was running to try and get their fast food fix. So yeah, that's that, man. I just thought I'd point it out because I thought it was interesting. As I said, I saw the face in this and I'm like, man, that's just ridiculous. But hey, I don't think the person who composed this image, because this isn't a real burger. They use fake fake food for these kind of shots, but the arrangement of it was probably by chance. But hey, the Most High willed it to be in the shape of this face here. So by man's wisdom, it was by a random occurrence, but by the Most High's will, that you can clearly see the face in that fucking burger bugging out. So with that, I'm gonna close out giving all praises and honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makakadash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of great most and that rule well. Shalom to the Archim teaching this word around the globe with faith and truth and sincerity. I'm out for this one, and I'll catch you on the next, Lord willing. Shalom for now. Wa ba 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 wa kwame shalom.